I did not yet camp out for a beer. So
No, I'm probably with you. I don't think I will. I like the idea of being able to do it. I don't like the idea of sleeping outside in the cold. Maybe it's California, like, might be fun.
Yeah.
Fun for a story. Over this side, anywhere past October, like, no, it's not happening. It's not worth it. You can just
why
save
camp
yourself
out?
ahead. Why camp out?
Why camp out? We can get some beers that nobody else can get.
So I'm saying this is what it's all about.
Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Y'all are brewheads? Yeah, we brewheads. So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 34 of Beer and Other Shhh, the podcast. And today we are here at Glutenberg in Montreal, Hochelaga, and I have Julien Pouliot from Brewster Club, brother.
How's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
First and foremost, we're at Glutenberg. Do you want to give the real 30-second elevator pitch to what Brewster Club is, and then we'll get into the details.
Sure.
During the podcast.
So, Brewster Club is a 3-branch company.
Okay.
The main branch is the Beer of the Month Club.
Right.
So whatever you want to call it, tasting pack. It's basically beer to your doorstep.
Okay.
The second branch is the retail store.
Right.
So we run a retail store out of Plattsburgh, New York, upstate New York. And the third branch is the online marketplace.
Okay.
So it's a place where you can actually repurchase all the products that you had in your monthly beer case.
Right.
So that's what Brewster Club is in 30 seconds.
Amazing. So before we get into the pack, because I'm actually really keen to start talking about the beers. So how did you guys and all your partners, how did that come about? Like, is there like an interesting story? Like, how did you guys get from being in Quebec to being like, hey, I want to do this business in the States? And,
Well, we went on a road trip when we started in Detroit and ended up in Iowa.
Nice.
So
a random spur of the moment?
Yeah,
thing?
a random road trip.
Were you guys involved in the craft beer industry in Quebec or at
No,
all?
not at all.
Sick. Cool. So you did Detroit, great place for beer.
Well, I mean, we were involved in the drinking, not in the distribution,
we all, guys,
not in the distribution or retail or anything. So we went on a road trip, visited about 20 breweries on the way.
Sick.
And came back and said, "There's some potential here. There's something to do." So we started research there, and then today we have this great business.
Amazing.
So,
and from what you did tell me, the breweries that you've chosen were specifically selected because they're maybe what one would call like a neighborhood brewery, in the sense of they don't have wide distribution outside of their city. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. So there's a couple of criteria to be featured in the box.
Okay.
One of them being you have to be an independent microbrewery.
So, of course, they're not owned by AB or Sad Miller. Yeah.
Exactly. The other criteria is the volume of your production.
Okay.
So you can be an independent brewery, but still brew. Like Samuel Adams is independent, but they brew,
technically, yeah. I think they're like the pushing it, at the top end. Yeah.
But they brew 10 million barrels a year,
which is a ton.
That's not interesting for us.
Right.
The other criteria is their distribution circle.
Okay.
So since we're trying to bring beers to people that wouldn't usually have it, we're trying to feature breweries that are not distributed outside of the states where they're produced.
Right.
Or let's say the neighboring states.
Gotcha.
So
it was local distribution network.
Local distribution network. So if you have someone in California or in Oregon or in New York, you don't want them to have a beer in the case that they can actually buy at the grocery store.
Of course.
So the whole point is that when you get your case, they're all beers that you could never buy elsewhere than the brewery itself, the state where it's produced, or us.
Right.
So that's the
awesome.
whole,
Okay. And so speaking, you went on the road trip, so you guys are really I saw on the Indiegogo video, you guys had the car. I believe you got the car just for this business. Like you bought the car and plastered the logo on the side.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's good visibility.
Of course it's
so we got a couple of Instagram messages and people sending us message on Facebook just saying, I saw you guys on the road. That sounds awesome. Like a cool project and everything.
That's sick.
So, we'll go around.
So it's all around, as in it's not like there's a truck shipping it to. I mean, eventually maybe to the bottle shop, the liquor store in New York, but you're going, you know, like you physically go to these places, and that's sort of like this is as craft as it gets. Like you guys are jumping in the car and filling up the trunk with cases of beer just for this right now. Is that correct?
Well, for the demos and the samples and the events that we make right now, that's how we do it.
Right.
So we go from brewery to brewery, and we just come back with some beer. When the club is gonna, I mean, after the Indiegogo campaign, and when the website is going to be launched, we have a transport company that is going to take care of all the beer moving.
It makes more sense. I was going to say this probably wouldn't be feasible in the long term to do all
Yeah, I
these
mean,
thousands of miles. Like,
well, especially with the quantity. I mean,
Yeah.
with the number of clients that we're aiming, it would take us a truck actually.
I was going to say, yeah.
So it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's a cool way to start, though.
But
Really,
for
really
now,
hands-on.
it's Alex and I, and we're getting in the
in
car,
and filling
and so we did the Midwest road trip,
Yep.
which took us from Detroit to Iowa, coming back through South Illinois, Indianapolis,
Nice.
Columbus, Buffalo, and then back to upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
And the second road trip was where did we go? We did the East Coast actually. So
Like just down like Philly and oh no, you said
You did-
went, yeah, you went to Philly.
yeah, well, I went to Philly a couple of times. So we went to through Boston, Philly, Baltimore, Washington, and a couple of suburbs and neighboring towns.
Right.
And the last road trip, which is the one that was filmed.
The video, yep.
So we had the film crew with us, so we can. All of this was unscripted,
Just jump
just
in the car and
pure,
go, right?
just pure videos. And this one took us from upstate New York all the way down to Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, up to Kentucky,
Jeez.
back to Indianapolis, and then through Pittsburgh and back to New York, where we had an event
Crazy.
in June.
Wow.
Where we had about 200 people on the rooftop terrace, just tasting all the beers that we gathered around the
What
trip.
up, huh? So you got beers from all of those states generally?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So, well, even in this case, when we'll get to this, you'll see that there's beers
bunch of
from
stuff.
pretty much everywhere.
I was going to say when taking a look earlier, like I didn't recognize any of them, and that is a good thing.
It is. Well, that's the whole.
That's
That's
kind
the
of the
whole point.
exciting
Yeah.
part, right? And that's what was intriguing to me because, you know, as a lot of us, like in the craft beer community, part of it is like half the fun is getting your hands on these beers that you can't normally get. And I always have these Americans hit me up like, yo, you want to do trades? I'm like, I've tried before with friends, and Canadian Customs is not having it. Like I had a friend in Indianapolis who got a warning letter from Customs like saying don't do this again type of thing. So it's
Yeah, it's
super
good.
like, yeah, I feel like America has a much better system with sharing beers. You see on Instagram, people do the beer mail all the time. I'm so jealous. Like I can't participate in that. Like, but at the same token, it forces you to go do it. But you know, if you live in Portland, Oregon, you can't exactly get down to Columbus, Ohio, really easily. It's probably thousands of miles to do that. So this is kind of the solution to get it fresh from breweries that you would actually have to go to the
It is
neighborhood.
because the brewers themselves don't have the license to direct ship
Right.
to customers.
So this is where you guys come in. You're able
exactly.
to do that because of the retail.
So we
store.
gather them all in the same box and ship them
Then
out
put
to the
them out.
customers. Yeah.
That's awesome. I think we should open it. Let's take a look. Check out the hat as well. The hats for the contest. They're going to be in our Instagram contest, so check that out. I'm pretty sure this will come out before then. Let's take a look. So, I love this as well. You got the stamp here.
Yeah, every box
And
is going to be
personally
signed by the
signed?
person
Who packed them?
who assembled it.
It's very, in a good way, very hipster. I like it. Like
Yeah, it's a little
it's that
it's
attention
personal
to detail,
touch,
right?
and yeah,
I think that's super dope.
it's the whole point. It's the whole goal of Brewster Club. It's the personal touch. Whether we have 200 boxes or 5,000, they're all going to be signed.
Perfect.
All of them.
Hand stamped and everything.
That's a promise.
Yeah, I love that.
Under oath.
You saw it here, guys. You saw it here. So this looks sexy to me right here. Let's talk through some of the breweries here. So let's start with these guys.